everyone and welcome back to Deresley. It's been a while since I've done a video, but it doesn't mean I haven't been busy. I've been trying to concentrate on getting the goods operation side of my layout up and running. It's nearly 3 years since I started Deresley, and one of the reasons for starting it was to operate a sort of semi-prototype goods operating system. So I've been trying to put the sort of finishing touches to it, which has taken me quite a while. The main problem is that I made it too complicated, and I've had to sort of reshape it and rethink it in order to make it operate more smoothly and more enjoyably, to be honest. I can show you roughly what I have done, but I'm going to leave the bulk of the details about the operating system to a separate video, where those that are more interested in that aspect of it can follow it a little bit more closely. So first I'm going to show you the work I've done on the scenery. This is the extended scenic area that is the cover to my control panel, and I've decided to develop it as another part of the town of Deresley. This is the shop scratch build. That's going to be placed in here somewhere. There's another extension to go on this that I'm also going to scratch build. But I've made a garage to go into the town. This is a scale scenes downloaded garage, which is very nice, goes together really well. I'll show you that close up in a moment. And I've actually got a cover at long last for my points there, which I'll show you in a moment as well. Basically, I'm not going to develop the roads anymore on here at the moment until I've got some more buildings made and some idea of how I'm going to fence this part of the town off from the railway. The garage is an inexpensive download from Scale Scenes and makes into quite a charming period looking petrol station or garage. I've still got to find some pumps. I didn't quite like the card ones that came with it, so I need to source some petrol pumps. It's going to be car sales as well, so it sort of kind of gives me an excuse to build up a little sort of sub-collection of the lovely Oxford die-cast cars. The area here where my point motors are showing on the top of the layout at last has got a cover, not 100% finished yet, but it's going to be actually the oil tanks, and that covers over there, and there is actually a little shed or lean-to behind it that's going to take a small building of car repairs, perhaps even welding or something like that for the garage in the high street. This is the rear view of the building on which the fuel tanks are stored. The pipe work and everything's done. I need a walkway and an access ladder, but it shows nicely the little workshop I've got built on behind it. In this view you can see some of the fencing I'm putting in. This is ratio fencing. It comes white. I opted for the white variety as it needs to be painted. So this is unpainted and looks a little stark, whereas the fencing I've put around this part of the layout has been weathered and painted. This was the part of the layout that was going to be where the bomb disposal team was. I've since decided to make this area a more conventional one with fields and horses. So I've added more scenic detail in this area, and I've made some trees. These two are made from the twisted wire technique, where you bind the wire together and make the branches and trunk. The left hand one I coated the trunk and the lower branches with some plaster of Paris. And then on both trees I used some of the rubberized horsehair and then some woodland scenic scatter. Before I put the scatter on, I gave them both a spray of matte black to darken them down, and I think they look okay. I'm happy with the one on the left. The one on the right, I think I've got it a little too dense. You know, as one it looks okay, but for most of my trees I'm going for the kind of look I've got on the left-hand one. In the same area I've tried these two trees. These are made from the natural sea fern. You get quite a lot in a box. It's about 20 quid a box, but there's a really good number of trees, possibilities in there, trees and bushes. But I've treated it the same way as the others. I first of all sprayed it with some matte black, and then there's no need for the rubberized horsehair. Once it was sprayed, I used the Woodland Scenics scatter materials to add the foliage. I think I'll put my own ones built with wire at the front of the layout where they are going to be more visible, because I think they look more natural and attractive. But these are great. I've already bought them and there's a lot of them, so what I plan to do with these is use them along the back of the scenery to soften the space between the layout and the back scene. This general foreground area now looks quite good, I think, and once I get more greenery going back across the layout, it'll blend in nicely with the back scene. I still have one point motor to deal with. I need the small barn done still to put over that area of the field to hold the tractor and perhaps some hay for the horses. Regarding the stock on my layout, I've done some more locomotive weathering. This is an elderly Bachman B1, the one with the split chassis, which I modified and fitted a decoder. I've now gone ahead and finished the weathering. I've replaced the coal with real coal, and it looks sort of nice and worn for the early to mid 60s. I've still got one or two little bits to do. I'm going to put the loco lamps on it, but this one's finished. This is my current favourite locomotive at Deresley. It's the Bachman Robinson Class J11 I had new for Christmas this year. I finally plucked up the courage to take the airbrush to it and weather it and dirty it down. I've also replaced the coal with real coal. Looking rather shiny following the other two locos is this Ivete Class 4 Mogul. It's one of two locomotives I bought from eBay after Christmas in the new year, and I had problems fitting the decoders to them, and this one I shelved and to tackle at a later date. Well, I took it over to Trains for You at Peterborough, and I bought a decoder from them, and they were kind enough to fit it for me. So now I have this that's running nicely, and it's ready for some future time when I can get round to weathering it. I've been working on a couple of other locomotive projects. I've been renumbering and renaming a couple of my Pacific locomotives. This was formerly a railroad A4 Mallard, and I've already done the renaming and renumbering on this to 60020 Guillemot. This close-up shows the new number. It's from it's a waterslide decal from Model Master, and it's the number complete. I removed all the old number, although there's only one digit difference, but it's difficult to get a precise match on just one extra changed digit. So the nameplate is an etched brass one, also from Model Master. I cut the old nameplate off very carefully and applied this one with a good quality PVA. I used Elmer's glue, and it dries without any glue residue showing. On this model also I've done quite a bit of modifying to the tender. On these tenders the coal is moulded as part of the tender, so I had to cut that out and file it around and then replace a sort of a false bottom and sides in here so that it'll take the coal when I fit it. I've also, because this is a corridor tender, extended the corridor along there. So when I get the coal in, I'm going to allow part of that to show. There's also, you can't see it on this view, but on the back here there's a window lighting that helps sort of bring light into the corridor, and I've drilled that out, and that'll be glazed later in the build. The final locomotive project I'd like to show you is this Tornado, renaming to 60139 Sea Eagle. There have been quite a few railroad Tornadoes on eBay for quite reasonable prices, so this was quite a simple renaming or conversion, but this time I've gone ahead and weathered it, whereas I've still got the mallard to do. I've tried to keep the weathering subtle so we can still see the green and the BR lining, and I'm quite pleased with the result. However, it has given me one big problem on my railway. Things are looking a bit disastrous at the bridge end of my layout, because when I finished the converting the Tornado to Sea Eagle, I discovered that the chassis is longer on the Tornado Pacific than is on the Flying Scotsman and Mallard. And when it gets under this bridge and curves into the fiddle yard, it derails all the time. So obviously when I laid my flexi track in there, I've got a kink in the lines and it won't go round them. It's the only locomotive that doesn't go round them, but I want to run it off the layout, so I'm going to take this bridge out, and I've bought some set track curves, and I'm going to relay that area of track under the bridge. So it's all going to come out, and a new bridge is going in there. Finally, we've come round full circle to my goods operation again. I've been buying goods wagons throughout the summer, and I've got over 40 now, but only half of them have Spratt and Winkles. I've got 2 Shell fuel tankers, which are fully converted, but since then I've got 3 more Esso tankers to make up a fuel train. Well, here I am at the seemingly endless task of converting my goods wagons to the Spratt and Winkle couplings. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I have been busy since my last one, back in May it was. So now the late autumn and winter's here, I can get cracking with some more videos for you. So again, many thanks for watching, and I'll leave you now with the usual few stills I've taken from this update.